Hashem Hashem, today's topic is about again more about sinut that we want to make sure that our families are sanua because our Baruch says whenever there's a sinut at home, right, at the family, which is the wife, the isha is Akel Habayit, she is the foundation of the family. It's very important for everybody. That is single, they should get married, that Hashem will give soon for myself, for everybody that wants to get married, that Hashem they get married soon and they establish a family. So we make some recap of what we just said before, that all of the whole concept of us learning Torah and Halacha is in the Zohar HaKodesh he says that it's very important for a person when he learns the Halacha, he goes to the bottom of it and find out the Nekuda, what is really what who wants from us. And when he learns the Halacha, right, he has to find out what is the Nekuda, what's the point that who wants from us to do, and we do it accordingly. And right now, as we mentioned, the situation is and the whole world is a bit unstable, and everybody is feeling it, even financially and everything else. And we mentioned that there's a Gemara Baruch that says that even there was one very chashuv Rav in the time of Gemara that had some wine barrels that they went sour, and the other time Chachamim it was wine and turned to become a vinegar, and the Talmidei Chachamim came to him and they asked him, how is it possible that your wine became vinegar? Most probably you did something that was not right, otherwise Hashem would not allow this happen to you. So he said, nothing, well, you're suspecting me? He said, well, we're not suspecting, but Hashem doesn't just come around and turn somebody's barrel of wine to the vinegar. Maybe there's something that we've done that caused HaKadosh Baruch Hu make these wines to become vinegar. And he said, let me just think, and he said, oh yeah, there is a case that I had, this case, and one of my workers that was working for me stole from me. So what did I do? I just said, you know what, since he stole from me, from the farm, or garden, whatever he had, he said, I'm going to deduct that from his salary, and I'm going to just give him whatever it is, which is nothing, because he stole from me and I didn't pay anything to him. The Chachamim said that's not a right way of doing it, according to Halacha. Which means you got to pay him whatever he worked for you, you pay him. Now, if he stole from you, you got to take him to Bedin. Take him to Bedin, and if he owes you, he pays you back, but you just can't go on your own and do this thing, even though you're a big chashuv Rav. So he paid attention to what they said, and what did he do? He went ahead and paid the money to the worker, and when he gave the money to his worker, right, after a sudden the Gemara says he didn't lose money from the wine. They say either there was couple of interpretation of what does that mean. One, they say that the vinegar changed back to the wine, or they said that year, for some unusual reason, the vinegar price was equal or to the wine price, so you didn't lose out. So we see that if somebody, what we call in Hebrew, a person has to research and see what he did wrong and what are the bad things he did, right? And he has to do what? He has to do a correction, which will also take care of the issue he had. So now we learned that regarding sinut, so the main thing we just have to find out what is sinut all about, and from there, right, we have to make sure when we get married, and if we are married, right, our wife and our daughters, right, are sinua because they are the Akel Habayit. The woman is the foundation of the family. If the woman is not properly dressed and sinua, right, the whole family suffer. Not only the whole family suffer, the whole close environment suffer. Maybe depending on how what kind of neshama he has, there's a mamor that it says, in the Gemara, it says, Kol Israel Aravim Ze La Ze. All the Jewish people, we are connected. We have we are connected spiritually. So if somebody does a certain avera, even though he thinks that he just did it, right? The Persian, there's like a ma'aseh in the Gemara that says that somebody came with the mashal, of course. The mashal, which means it's just to bring out the point. It says somebody went to the ship, right? And he had his own cabinet, and he took a driller, and he started making a hole on his cabinet while they were in the middle of the sea. And the other passengers that they were in the ship, they got concerned. They said, "What's going on here? What's all those noise all about?" They knocked the door. They go in. They see he's making a hole in the cabinet, and the hole is going there. So what are you doing? He says, "It's none of your business. You know, I'm making a hole in my cabinet." So, but if you make a hole, if you continue doing it, the seawater is going to come into your cabinet. He says, none of your business. My problem, not yours. He said, wait a minute. What do you mean it's not your problem? If the water goes in there, then we are also sitting in this same ship. We are all going to go get drowned together. It's not just you, but we're all going to go drowned. Stop it. We're not going to allow you to make a hole in the ship, right? So the person should look at it the same thing when a person regarding sinut or any other avera that is doing something, it does impact the whole, not just his or her family, but also impacts the whole nation, Jewish nation, because it makes us go down, and that's what we see right now. Right now, we see all this restlessness throughout the world. It's very, very. They have the president, this massacre that they've done, this inaction of Hamas. There is something we have to do, and I think one of the main things we have to do, just to start with, is a senior. That's why our focus in the last few times that we've talked is mostly on senior, because that has to be corrected. Because once it gets corrected, then everything else is going to come in its place. So
I have just one question then.
Yeah.
The Erev Rav have caused a lot of problems.
Yes.
Even from the very beginning when we went out of Egypt. So if the Erev Rav are they in this metaphorical ship? Are they part
Yes,
of?
yes.
They're causing the problem then.
Well, once we do Teshuvah, they will walk away.
Okay.
That's as easy as that. As easy as that. Because they say there's a mamar. They say, how come Zohar says it? Zohar says, how come Moshe Rabbeinu was not buried in Israel? It was buried Chutz La'aretz, right? So they say, what was it? Because it says he brought the Erev Rav in, right? And in time in Bismano, to be at Mashiach, he will take care of them. He will make sure they get isolated from Jewish people. Okay, so our concern is not them, even though they are the main concern. That it says that because Zohar says they're gonna ma'akev geula, they're gonna hold by delay the bringing geula. But if we do, the Chazal says if the Jewish people do teshuvah, there's gonna be geula. Doesn't say nothing about Arab. They are gonna be trying to deter the time of the Mashiach, right? But it's not. If we do teshuvah, they have no power over us. That's how it works. So our focus is not be concerned about them, but concern is about us to do teshuvah. And once we do teshuvah, the Hashem is everything goes well. So that's why one of the things says, the Pasukim one after another, that if there's a war right now, for instance, there are these Jewish girls that they go in the army over there. I feel very bad for them. They are sisters or daughters, whatever. We should be very concerned, pray for them that they don't serve in the army. Because a Jewish girl's place is at home, right? It's not going to go to war. She's not a woman, because we know they say one of the mitzvah, the question comes up, this is api halacha, right? is a woman supposed to go look for a husband? Is a mis- is it mitzvah? Is it mitzvah for a woman to go look for a husband? So they say no. Why? Because they said because a man goes to conquer the land, a woman doesn't go to conquer the land. And the mitzvah, the first mitzvah we have in the Tag mitzvah is what? The 613 mitzvah is what? Is the real first one, puruvu. A person should go get married to have children so populate the whole world, right? So the mitzvah is incumbent upon a man, not a woman, because why? When they say why is not a woman? Because a woman is not mesuba, is not commanded to go and have children. Why is that commanded? Because women, in general, by nature, they are soft, right? By nature, and they are not the warriors. Who is going to go get a populated place or capture land? Is who? Just men, not women. So that's why the commandment is for them. So for us, not for them. So going back to the topic, the main thing for those Jewish girls, I hope that they all do teshuvah and go back to their home and they raise a kosher family and get out of that position of being a female soldier because it's not good for them. Maybe they see some kind of satisfaction, they get noticed and whatever, but that's not that Torah. That Torah is that Ma'ala Kedoshim, they say that soldiers, women, girls should not be participating in the army whatsoever because not only they go there, unfortunately they do things like the men do, right, which is not their job, but unfortunately they might get chas v'shalom, go off the derech and they do chat v'shalom avonot with men or whatever, and that's going to cause a problem for them down the road and also for men. And then, so we said, we reviewed this whole thing about we have to see what is really sinut, right? Because Zohar says if a person finds out the bottom of the halacha comes to the nekudah, to the point. What's the halacha? What is really what does this consider sinut, right? And then build from there. That's very important. So we learned out. So the main thing about this woman being sinud is that she should not be bolet. Bolet means she shouldn't stick out among the people. That's one of the main thing, and that's why we established that peah nochri, a woman's wig, is not considered covering because Hakadosh Baruch Hu, we learned this. So I'm just reviewing all these things. We learned that the Zohar says, "Woe to a man that allows his wife have his hair uncovered at his home." He said the bracha is not there, but unfortunately the man that his wife, or he tells his wife that we Sanua cover her head and also all other her parts and be complete Sanua because all the brachot come from what a woman being Sanua. So the makor brachot come from a woman. And the reason we say why they come from a woman because woman is compared to the Shekinah, right? And the bracha comes from Shekinah. So if the woman is Sinua, she brings down on herself and her family and the whole community all these brachot. All the brachot come through the woman. That's why even though they are not obligated to learn Torah, that's why at halacha they are not mesubed, they are not commanded to learn. Just the halacha that they are supposed to know about the halacha nida, Chol Shabbat, Yom Tov, brachot, and hule, but they're not obligated to sit down and put a kiryat itim, like which means set up a time to learn Torah. They are not obligated. You just have to know these things so they'll be able to have a kosher life. So here, the main focus is what is the sinua, and we find out that the main thing is the woman should not be bolet. Bolet means stick out. That's about what it is all about. So that's why we established that Panochri bolet, as this bolet is also legamre. That's why most Ketolei Hador, they are against it, and they say it is asur for a woman to wear wig, and it's been the Chabad rabbi, he said it's a problem, the big problem with the Panochri. all these Rabbanim, Ashkenazim, Sephardim, many of them, they say in one voice that there's a problem, and for some reason they got used to the idea of wearing wig because their mother and grandma were wearing in Russia or the Europe because of the gezerah that they had. But the gezerah was established was the Chachamim. They gave what was called Horat Sha'ah, that the Caesar of Russia brought this gezerah that if the women do not, if they cover their hair, they're going to kill them. So the Rabbanim at that time, they gave what we call Horat Sha'ah, which means a specific halacha, because of the women were in danger. They found a special heter permission to let the women wear a special kind of wigs that they were made of very tough. They were extremely ugly. They were extremely ugly. The woman wouldn't look very good. It was not bullet. And because of that, they announced they were so they would not get killed. And later on, the gezerah was finished. The Caesar is no longer, we don't have no more Caesar, right? So if we don't have it, the women should go back to the original state of the modest clothing, which is what they used to be all over Europe. All the women, they were covering their head with a hat or proper head covering, not wig. So that's the whole issue that people, we have to work on it, and they say many, at least we know the Chazal says the same way that the Nashim, because Nashim said Konyot, right? Because Nashim said Konyot, we were saved from Mitzrayim. These are all Chazal, so I just want to get back to the point, to hear, but I just want the Chazal is the same way that the Jewish people were saved from the Galut Mitzrayim because of the Nashim Sat Koniyot. The same thing is going to happen in the time of the Galut Acharon, which we are in it, and we have to see what they were doing, so the women should do it. They say those days women were, the Jewish nation was under slavery by the Egyptians, and the women, when they want to go out, do shopping, whatever, they used to put charcoal, not only on their face, so they look ugly, so they would not be attracted to the Egyptians, so they would not want them to have them as wife or rape them or whatever. So they were basically, none of the Jewish women were touched by the Egyptian boy because the Nashim, and the same token, when they would go home, taking care of the husband, they would beautify themselves very much, so the husband would have some certain desire to be with them, and they had 6 children at the same time. That's what the Chazal say. Because this whole thing they were doing, the women were such a strong will that they wanted to make sure that there was Senua and that last son, they didn't want to show themselves bullet, and they went out of the way, and they made themselves, not only they were not doing things that were not bullet, but also they made themselves extremely ugly, so nobody else would look at them outside. So that's what we were saved. So that's that Hashem. I don't know if Hashem wants these women, our sisters and daughters and mothers, make themselves ugly, but at least don't bullet. Now here there is a memory from Chazal. What does Isha Senua is all about? If she's Senua, what happens to her? So he says, Omar Hamidrash. So all the kavod of the woman is that she will be at home, right? Penima means that she should be more, very, very modest and stay at home. Amar Rabbi Yossi, Keisha Masniyat Asma Beto Habayit. If a woman, she covers herself, she's very modest at home, right? Ru'uya Ninase Lekohen Gadol. She is proper. She has the zuchut to get married to a Kohen Gadol. Kohen Gadol was the top of what we have, the top of the lineage. The best lineage is what Kohen. Kohanim. They have the 30%. We have Kohanim. We have Leviim. We have Israel. Right.
Yes.
The Kohanim are the top of the line of the Jewish nation. That's what they say Kohanim. That's what they bless us because. Even the Kohen Gadol, Kohen that is Amoris, he has a very high stature because of his yichus. Yichus means his lineage. Now, Kohen Gadol is
Highest
the
of them.
highest of them, and it says if a person marries, if a person, a woman, is senua, she will get to a position of becoming a Kohen Gadol. Be able to deserve to marry to Kohen Gadol. Yeah, of course, Kohen Gadol cannot marry certain women that are divorced or widow, but the other betulot, right? So, and ותמיד בנים כהנים גדולים, and they would have a זכות to have כהנים גדולים, בנים כהנים גדולים. Not only she's going to be able to have a zechut to marry Kohen Gadol, but also she will have a zechut to have banim kohanim gadolim. Just for what? If she's senua, that's all. That's all she. If she's just senua, she's going to be able to get to this madrega. עוד נאמר שם, אמר רבי פנחס בן נחמה, בזמן שהיא צנוע בתוך הבית, כשם שהמטבע מכפר, כך היא מכפרת ביתה. Another statement is very powerful. It's just, if you listen to this depth of this statement, it's really overwhelming, and it just a person realizes it and does it, realize how important is woman in his life. Senua woman. He says, when she is senua at home, she's like a mizbeach. The time of the Beit HaMikdash, when they had mizbeach, they would bring a kaparot, and the mizbeach it would atone for the sins of the Jewish people. When she's senua, she's mechaper avonot shel family, not only herself, right? Of course, she has. I'm talking about and we know that person is not doing it purposely. It just sometimes happens, you know. We are all humans, we make mistakes. Right? We are doing it intentionally and make some mistakes and make some avonot. He mechaperet a better. The whole family, her father, her husband, her children, everybody, herself, while just being messinot. That's why it's very important for a person when he wants to. I remember this. When he wants to get married, right? Have to find a religious girl. I remember one of my rabbanim went back in Chicago. Rabbi Daniel Laika. He's a dayan in Chicago. He's a very chashuv dayan in Chicago. He used to say, finding a girl to get married is not so hard. Right? You find a girl, you like her appearance, right?
Right.
You want to marry her, the Americans say wine and dine her, and you get her to become your wife, right? You give her some money and whatever, and you just have her as your wife. That's not a big deal, but you can get any girl from off the street and get married to. But finding a girl that is religious person, that's a big deal. Why? Because that's why a person has to pray for a religious girl. Because somebody like this, she's going to make it. You're going to have the biggest asset in your life. She's going to be the biggest asset in your life because that's what he's saying. She is going to be considered Mizbeach, she's going to happen your abonot. She's going to be having children, like even if you're not Kohen Gadol, but she's going to have a Ruya, this statement from this route, that he could be qualified, he's a good candidate to have banim of Kohen Gadol. So it's a big zechut.
Yeah.
With a big zechut, why you want to do it? Why do you want to risk it? So not marry a girl like this. That's why a person should put this kind of girl for marriage. Person, the Orach Chaim Kodesh, right? Very interesting. You know this is what I'm going to say about Orach Chaim Kodesh.
Please go ahead.
The Orach Chaim Kodesh says when a person davens to Hashem, right? He should specify what he wants, give detail. Like if you want to get married, you say, I want to get married. No. You have to say, I want to get married to a girl that's senua, yat shamayim, yat ched, that can bring children, a girl that will listen to me. Because the other thing, a criteria of a good woman is the eze isha keshera, sheshomat ba'ala. There are times in life, in the marriage, a person has to make a decision for a family. if the woman is constantly challenge those decisions, you can run a marriage that way. So you want to pray that the woman you're going to get married to, right? She's going to what? She's going to listen to your decision that you to do it. Well, because it is a isha keshera, because of marriage, you can have. Usually, that's how Baruch made a man, that he can do long-term planning, versus a woman cannot do the long-term planning, right? Men this is the way I should treat all of us. So,
I mean, it's a little bit of challenge is good.
challenge.
A lot, like meaning, it should make you think.
Yeah.
Like, is this a good plan?
Right.
Is this wise?
Right.
Maybe there's a mistake. Maybe there's something.
Exactly.
And if you're certain, okay, respect.
Yeah, right. That's what it is. Yeah, you have to go through all that, but you have to make sure all these things are being. You consider all of these things before you go through that. Okay, so. Yod was saying this is we're talking about how important it is for a person to get married, and how important it is when a person prays to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what he should say. So I was saying Moshe Daniel that the Chaim HaKodesh says is very important when you want to daven for a good wife or for anything else. You have to be specific. Very specific. So he says. So he says. But it says over there that he says that this gentleman was in the room and he was in the desert and he was sweating and he was extremely tired. And he said he was sure, please, I need a donkey. But he didn't go give more the description. That was it. He said, I need a donkey, please, send me a donkey. So this Roman comes around and just had a baby donkey, just was born. So he says to him, you Jew, why are you sitting here wasting your time here? I need help. Carry my donkey all the way to the city. So this is Master Shaya. So from there, Abu Hanifa says, whenever you ask for Hashem, for bracha or something, be very specific. Don't just leave it that way. So if you ask for a woman, don't just say you want to give a wife. You have to be specific. You say you want to Isha Keshera, Shumad Bala, a woman that she has children and she could take care of it. You have to be specific. Otherwise, I was saying it was a rabbi in Chicago, Rabbi Raik Shalita, the Dayan. He said, getting married to a girl is not a big deal. You want to dine him, you go talk to him, you talk sleep with her, and you marry her. But Isha Keshera, that's why you have to pray for that, and that's very important. So we said, the Isha Keshera mechaper is like a mizbeach. It's saying it's different. It's a mizbeach. What's a mizbeach? It's mekaperet abono shekol kalekara Yisrael. So that's very important to have a good wife. And also it says, and he says, in what he can give him for you, how is it that she's like branching off her girlfriend, right? It says, Bidman Shei Biakete Beitecha, that she's by your home. She doesn't go out, and he says, Ve'im Asaken, and if she is Sinu and she's at your home and take care of everything at home, right? Banecha Kishle Zaitin. Your children is gonna be like the small tree of the zaytin, that they are always good and solid, and they are always strong. The zaytin are very good, and they don't get ruined. They are always there. They are fresh. That's how gonna be your children. And this is the other statement I just wanted to mention. It's very important. And it says the question about the bullet. So he says a woman should not go. They used to have something in the time of Gemara. It's called Irshel Zahav. There's something called Ish Zahab.
Jewelry.
It was a jewelry they used to put on the hair, on the neck, the women, and it was very nice. Okay? But it says this Ish Zahab was bullet.
Bullet.
Like bullet means it's sticking out. So they were asked, ما هو شتات إيش بإيش ذهب بالشعبان واسه هلاخ if she goes out of Shabbat. With that, Rabbi Chachamim אמרו, אפילו בכל אסור, even during the day, see this is the thing about the Panochi, you should see from here. It says even during the weekdays, she's not allowed to go with this tachshit outside. Okay, the tachshit in the jewelry, the piece of jewelry. He said, why she could not go out with this thing? Even the Chacham say, he said because men are going to look at her. The men are going to look at her. Pogam hold Isha, and she's gonna get pagam, and they didn't give tachshitim to the woman. Ella, there is a sofer made a gezerah in his time. He says that peddlers should go sell makeups for women, even to villages. Why? Because the women have to be beautiful in front of their husband. But the makeup is for inside. Not that they should look outside very crazy, but for husband, so the husband when he goes and look at her, he gets very happy and to see her and enjoy her beauty or whatever, and it's necessary for a man to see to realize his wife is pretty, right? She'en notim p'risal ifnei kasher, lo tim now, and he says, chas v'sholom, a person might do mistake b'lisha. And I'm going to finish this whole talk, if you're okay with it, just one story that I think is very important. This is a story from here. Is Mamash is very very fascinating story. There was a Rav is called Rav Shlomo Lipshitz, right? And he was Lipshitz. How Shlomo Lipshitz, the Baal Mechaber, he wrote a sefer called Chemdat Shlomo. He was a big Chashuv Rav in Versha. Versha is the capital. Versa, we call it in English. No, Versha.
Versa.
Versa. Versa was the capital of the Poland.
Warsaw.
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 Yeah, the Hebrew say Persian is Versa.
Warsaw.
Yeah. So he was the rabbi of the city, and he used to make sure there's a Rambam. It's a very interesting Rambam that he quotes here. He says, "Chayovim bedin, right? Lamit shutrim b'knaim b'chaygim sheyu b'sarabim v'chapesim b'gamot paresim v'anaharot v'shuri k'vesach le'echol ishdod sham anashim v'nashim v'yobol lidei avera." He says, "Al pi halacha, a bedin, right? A bedin is supposed to go make on the Yomim Tovim, like Chagim, like the men and women they are gathering. They should be there and make sure there's going to be separation. Men and women do not mix together. They have to have like a shotrim. What it says in the pasuk, shoftim and shotrim titel b'sharechad, that you are the bedin is obligated to have a shofet, which is the dayanim, and then they have a shotrim are like a policeman, right, to work around, right, in order to make sure that everything is done correctly. According to Rambam, this part also applies to who? Applies to who? For priesthood, to making sure there's halacha maseh. You are supposed to be policemen that want to protect the community from what the men and women get mixed together. You have to have it. It's and here it says, it's a very fascinating story here. It says, because he realized the city is growing, in the beginning he was doing it himself. He was doing it himself, right? He was doing it himself in the beginning, right? And then in the beginning he was doing it himself with his own people, and then they get too many. They say the population is growing by leaps and bounds. So he goes to the mayor of the Russia, the Goy, And he says to the guy, you know what, I need your help. He says, what? He says, I need to have it, I need to make sure that I am able to protect the community by making sure they are not mixed together. I want to make sure about this. Can you help me out? And look at this guy. This guy, what does the guy says? He's a guy. He's a mayor of the city at that time. He says, Hassan ha'erich me'od et divrei Rabbi Shlomo. He appreciated what he says. He really understood, appreciated. And he said, Nachon, it's correct. What you're saying, you need to have protection, right? הכריז בעיני ראיתי שהשחתה הנוכחית ומוסרית היא מנת חלקם של המחוללים יחדיו. He said, I've seen it with my own eyes. There's so many corruption, so many bad things come out when men and women get together. And he said, instead of that, I do understand what you're saying. I'm going to help you out.
Wow, good.
And then what he did, he said he brought chayalim.
Chayalim.
Soldiers.
Oh my gosh.
Soldiers
Oh no.
to be, and they were monitoring the whole community when there were like a big gathering of men and women. And he said in his time, when he was there was always peace because واقعی مثلا شانیم شامراه ایران این هفته ها شفته حسن دبیر به شما هیئت زده به ربی مسیح نفرت بزرگ شروع نده و ایتادین انش نشیم. And he said during his time he never had any problem. The city, because of what he did, that he brought this chayalim and was doing this, there was no problem with the youth, there was no problem with the calamities or mishaps or anything. Why? Because of this. So we see how important it is. I mean, it was a big study. We see how it is. So we hope that all of our Befedinim do the same thing, and you have a policeman or shotrim or chayalim, that they will make sure that there's no pursuit in the community and watch all these things, and making sure like a store that we're going to get more. For instance, when we go there, women should dress more properly, because men we want to go shopping. We're not going there to look at the naked women or half naked women. There should be some kind of thing, and maybe we hope that because we're here, with my end will be able to exercise this as well, that they can go shopping at different kosher places. And this don't look at this place, suit amateurs.
אז זה הרבה לא.
در مورد احترام داشته بودن بهشون گفتن که
Yes.